How's it going, guys? JP back at you once again, bringing you guys part number 3 in my entire DVD and Blu-ray collection, the 2015 version. So with that said, let's jump right into it. First up, we have Battle Royale 2. This is actually a foreign edition. It's not a US edition. I'm not exactly sure what country it's from. The title there is in Japanese, so maybe it's actually an edition from Japan. The region coding is all those, so you can play it in region 1 players. One thing I will say about this edition is the subtitles are very off. They are in English, but they're bad English, they're broken English, very distracting and hard to watch. You understand what they're trying to say, but at certain points in the film it's hard to make sense of the way that it's said because it's just slightly off from the way that we speak English. So it was very distracting. The film itself, I'm not the biggest fan of the Battle Royale films, to be honest. I mean, they're a very high concept film and they're very good. They're just not what I was looking for. I was kind of looking for something a little different in terms of the character interactions, maybe something a bit more primal. I didn't feel like the characters were genuine to the situation that they was put into. I was looking for more of like a brutal survival type of reaction, and there was too many like friendships and bonds made that I just wasn't buying. But that's me personally. I know there's a lot of people who love this film, and it is a good film, both of them, and I would love to see another Battle Royale because the concept is just amazing, and you can kind of do it again and again and have a different experience each time. So I would love to see more of them. Next up, we have Bedeviled, which I believe is a South Korean film, but I'm not 100% sure. This film is amazing. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. The first time I watched this film, I wasn't really expecting much. I didn't know anything about it. Maybe I had heard somebody say it was good or something like that, and then it punched me in the stomach while I was watching it. It's very, mean-spirited and harsh, very brutal, hard to watch, depressing, and that's why I haven't watched it again. Maybe one day I'll go back to it, but the first time watching it, you're just through so many different emotions. It's like a whirlwind, and by the end of it, you just need to catch your breath, and you're, kind of blown away at what you just seen. Great revenge movie. It really is truly amazing. You guys need to check this out if you haven't. One of the best films that I've seen in recent memory within the last 2 years or so. Just a great film. So definitely check out Bedeviled if you haven't. After that, we have Believers, which I think is an Eduardo Sanchez film, the guy who did the Blair Witch Project, but I could be wrong. Anyway, this is one of the directors from the Blair Witch Project. I don't think it is Eduardo Sanchez, though. So, this film, very interesting actually. It's religious, extremist, cult type stuff. I love that stuff. There's just something about people believing in something so strong that they're willing to do anything for that belief. Just gets under my skin, creeps me out. This one is good. Definitely a little lower budget to where you feel like maybe they had to limit what they could do with the film, but at the same time the concept and the storyline kind of fits that, so it's good, and the ending was really good as well. Interesting film. It could be a little bit boring on rewatch, so I wouldn't really recommend like rewatching it. I still haven't rewatched it, but very solid little film. After that, we have a film from MTV, and that is Beneath. I've actually not seen this yet. It's still sealed. I got it for like $3 at Dollar General. I don't know. Why not, right? It's kind of just one of those blind buys. I'm a sucker for picking up films at Dollar General just because I go in there and I'm not expecting to buy movies. And when they catch me off guard like that and I'm like, oh shit, movies, I just want to buy something because I'm just not expecting movies to be there. Even though I know they are, I just go there for other reasons. I never go to Dollar General to find, DVDs or anything. So I always try to grab something when I go in there, even if it's something that I necessarily wouldn't buy anywhere else. Beneath, I don't know anything about it. After that, we actually have a bootleg here of Lucio Fulci's The Beyond. I've actually never seen this film, but I don't even know why I have the uncut widescreen print here on bootleg. I got it from somebody, never watched it. Plan on grabbing the new edition eventually, so I'll probably never even watch this bootleg. After that, we have a film called Big Bad Wolf, and I was actually really surprised with this one. This one was a lot of fun. It's a comedy. The setup is really cool. It's like main cast, first act, bloodbath type thing, and then you're introduced to a whole new cast. I like that, you know, there was some moments in this film where I literally just bust out laughing because it was just so, you know, out there. I wasn't expecting, you know, it to play out the way it did. Very, very fun werewolf film. It's definitely a horror comedy, but it's definitely a little, you know, sleeper hit. So definitely check out Big Bad Wolf if you haven't. After that, we have Big Trouble in Little China. This is the special edition we have here. It's kind of in this weird, like, two-sided, like, case type thing here. I actually kind of like the design of this case. This film is a lot of fun. I just watched it one time and I've never seen it since, but it's one that I probably will revisit sooner or later. It feels like a damn video game. I mean, the cover looks like a video game, but the way that the story goes through, it's almost like there's different levels. It's really cool, man. It feels like a video game. John Carpenter, of course. I wasn't really expecting to like it because it's not really a horror film per se, and it's kind of like a weird, like, action type, you know, kung fu type film, and I'm not a big fan of those genres, so I wasn't expecting to, like, love it, but it definitely is a lot of fun. I definitely was surprised with Big Trouble, but I shouldn't have been because it is Jonathan Carpenter, who is, you know, probably my favorite horror director, probably. I had never really thought about it too much. After that, we have Black Sheep from Dimension Extreme. I missed this Dimension Extreme label. It was kind of cool. You know, there was definitely some duds in there, but there was also some gems. This was one of them. This is a cool film. I was not expecting to like this. I'm a guy who kind of likes the more serious horror films. You guys probably know that about me by now. I'm not a big fan of, like, slapsticky, over-the-top comedy. So by the title and the cover, I wasn't really expecting much out of this one and ended up really liking it. It's a lot of fun, and it's way, way less cheesy than you would expect. Sheep zombies, awesome, awesome. Great practical effects, a lot of fun. Black Sheep is a blast. Definitely check it out if you haven't. We're saying a lot of that in this section of the collection. That's good. The last section was a little bit weak. Then we have the Black Waters of Echo's Pond. I actually don't know much about this film other than it was partially written by Sean Clark, who is the host of Horror's Hallowed Grounds, and, you know, he's done a bunch of stuff. Really big fan of that guy's work. Wish he would do more stuff. Never seen this though, but I've heard bad things. Stars Danielle Harris. I even hear that Sean Clark isn't a big fan of this film. He didn't like how it turned out. So I will eventually check it out. I'm just not going to run out and do it very soon. After that, we have Black Xmas, the Black Christmas remake. I'm actually okay with this film. I kind of like it as a guilty pleasure. I know that it's not good. It definitely doesn't touch the original, but I just kind of like it. And it probably has to do with the time of my life when I seen it. When it hit DVD, we watched it a bunch of times. I had, you know, I used to go hang out over one of my friend's house in his basement. It was like an entire house downstairs in the basement. It had like a, you know, all kind of different rooms, fireplace, TV, stuff like that, its own bathroom, and nobody ever bugged us, so we'd always like bring girls over there and drink and shit, and we just played this film a lot for some reason. So I've just kind of always liked it, had good memories about it, so I'm probably a little bit biased, but it's not that bad in my opinion. After that, we have Blackwoods, which is still sealed, and I haven't brought myself to be able to watch this yet. It's from Olive/Martini Films. It's an Ooey Bowl. Olive actually sent me this as a review copy, which I probably should open and review it. But sometimes, if I feel like I'm gonna give a negative review, like on the last Ooey Bowl film, sometimes it's better to not even review it at all. But I probably will. I'm pretty honest. So I'll always give my honest opinions on a film no matter what. So Blackwoods, who knows? Who knows with that guy? After that, we have the Blair Witch Project. One of my favorite films ever. This film is terrifying to me. I've argued it to death. I've been countered to death. I really don't know how I could put it in words any other way besides I seen it at the perfect age. I seen it at the perfect time. And I loved it. It's truly a great film in my opinion, best found footage film in my opinion, and one of the most scariest horror films ever created in my opinion. I know those are bold statements, but I believe them. Blair Witch Project, great stuff. After that, we have the Blair Witch Project 2, Book of Shadows. I love this film. I'm just going to say it because I do. I just actually love this film. And everybody kind of hates this one. I have seen over recent years that it seems like more people are starting to appreciate this one. No, it's not a great film. It's kind of a bad sequel, but as its own film, I think it's a pretty solid little horror film, and I like it for that reason. I watch this one a lot. I actually really like Blair Witch 2. It's so much fun to me. It's a great time. After that, we have the Blob remake, which is definitely one of the best remakes ever made. This is so good, so good. I can't wait till it gets a Blu-ray release one day. And, I would love to buy it when it eventually gets that release. This film is just, the effects in this film are amazing. They're just, they're some of the best. I don't know. It's so, I heard the guy who wants to remake the Blob and said that he's like glad that they have like CGI nowadays to make up for like bad effects, and I'm just thinking, kill yourself, dude, because these are so good, so good. I love the original Blob too, but this one is a great movie, such a great time. After that, we have Blood Glacier, and this was an IFC Midnight. A lot of people like this one. I thought it was just okay. I don't know, I really wasn't all that into it. Great cover, some cool gore and stuff, but I don't know. I just thought it was okay. After that, we have a slasher. Forget what country this is from, but I don't think it's an American film, and that is Blood Runs Cold. This film was made on a super tiny budget, like just a couple grand. And what they was able to do on such a low budget was truly amazing. It's not the greatest film, but once you put in perspective the budget and what they was able to pull off, you'll appreciate it a little bit more. It's a decent little slasher film, though. I do recommend grabbing this. I think this was supposed to be a Bloody Disgusting Selects, but maybe it wasn't. I'm not sure. I thought I remember seeing a version that had the Bloody Disgusting sign on it. Yeah, that is Blood Runs Cold. After that, we have a slasher called Bloody Birthday. Actually, I don't remember much about this film. No, a lot of people do like this one, but this one I just really couldn't get into. I'm not a big fan of killer kids. Just not really my thing. They don't really bug me or affect me that well. You know what? I need to give this one another shot because I probably would like it. I was probably in a bad mood when I watched it. I actually think this was one of my Fright Tube or Body Bag reviews, and it was probably one of those days where I like hurry up and had to watch something because I forgot about it, and I was kind of like, in a bad mood or something. I don't know. I'll give it another shot. Maybe I'll like it a little bit more. After that, we have a triple feature here. We have Blood Gnome, which is an awful movie. It's very bad. It's like a 2 or less out of 10. But it's little blood gnome creature things. I don't know. It's It's ridiculous. It's I kind of almost want to watch it again. It's probably a film that if you had a buddy or two with you, you could laugh your ass off. Then you have Satan's Little Helper. Forget the director's name, but he's definitely directed some things. I just can't remember. Fun little film there, set on Halloween and stuff. Not too bad. And then we have Spliced, which I haven't seen yet, so maybe I'll watch Spliced one day soon. After that, we have Snoop Dogg in Bones. I do remember watching this on VHS back in the day, actually, but I don't remember it at all. So, probably going to have to give this one another watch. The New Line Platinum series in the nice cardboard, what the hell do they call these? Snapper cases. This is actually from Blockbuster, apparently. So, whenever I bought this used, they got it from Blockbuster. So yeah, Bones. And finally, for this part, we have a film from Unearthed Films, which I've not opened yet, and I haven't seen it. It looks like a zombie film or such, and that is Bone Sickness. Yeah, I don't know much about it, but Uncle Creepy says it's splatterific. I believe Uncle Creepy is the owner of Bloody Disgusting? Can't really remember. Possibly. So yeah, that's it, guys. See you guys next time with part number 4. Please leave me some comments. I love them because they make this series a lot more fun. Let's talk some movies. I will definitely start answering comments. I've actually went back and answered some recently. So we're going to get some chatting going on, guys. Definitely drop me a few lines. Peace out.